Good morning, everyone. I'm Harry Johnson, bringing you another in the series of videos associated with Trinity United in Winnipeg and our Moments for Tuesday. Reverend Elizabeth Brown is on vacation. In her stead, Reverend Paul Campbell is standing in for pastoral duties, and the contact for Reverend Campbell is obtained either through the church's telephone system or in the email that accompanies this video. Today's video is a little different. I'm using an experiment in mixed media. I first will be presenting an interview with Wynn Ferguson, who leads the Holy Yoga class at Trinity. And then, at the end of that interview, is a rare opportunity to join the class through video conferencing, and our video will end at the end of a brief demonstration of the class at work. So, let's go ahead and talk with Wynn first, and then we'll see Wynn's class later. Thank you. Once again, Trinity congregation, for the Trinity Tuesday Moments, I have the pleasure of conducting an interview with an important member of the congregation. Today, I'm interviewing Wynn Ferguson, who leads the yoga program, and we're going to talk about the program and a bit about yoga as well. Good morning, Wynn, and how are you today?
I am great, thank you. Good morning, Harry.
You've been leading this program for some time. I wonder if you'd tell us, how did the program get started?
Yes, well, our former minister, Millie, went on sabbatical a number of years ago and discovered yoga as a form of worship and devotion and praise. And when she came back from sabbatical, she was very, very interested in setting up and having a yoga faith program in Trinity. So she found a few yoga practitioners amongst the congregation, myself and Carly Steen, and the three of us put together the first yoga practice on sometime in January of 2014, and that was the birth of the yoga program, the Holy Yoga program at Trinity.
Well, it's a brave step to start a new program, especially one that is novel to the congregation, so good for you.
It's nothing but fun.
Yes, that's how do you meet as a group in the pre-COVID era?
Well, in the pre-COVID era, we mostly met in this building, sometimes in the sanctuary. That's a wonderful place to practice yoga, in a sanctuary. Sometimes we were downstairs, and sometimes we were in the narthex. So just depending on what else was going on in the building sometimes. Sometimes we were outdoors if it was a nice day. And since sometime in April of 2020, we have been on Zoom, which was great too. And also last summer, when we had not so much of a lockdown, we were able to gather outside, and we often gathered at Kings Park.
Well, meeting on Zoom, has that had any advantages, or is it a disadvantage in a program like this?
Well, I do see lots of advantages. For one thing, we now have people from far away who live in maybe Alberta or Saskatchewan coming to our program, so they are now able to access the program even though they don't live nearby. So that was wonderful. Also, you know, if you get up in the morning, you don't feel like driving to the church or walking to the church or biking to the church, you know, you can just push a button and there is the Zoom.
Yes.
So there are great advantages to being on Zoom, although a lot of people have said that they do very much miss that in-person time too.
And how have you recruited members to this group?
Well, certainly the Trinity Bulletin has been a great spreader of the word. There's been quite a bit of word of mouth. The program is open to everyone within or outside of the Trinity community.
So members are participating beyond the congregation, and you mentioned even out of province. How has the word spread to those folk?
Well, mostly they are people who know somebody in the group, so that has been a great thing. I think one time there was a friend of Seneca, our Southside Seniors coordinator, who had a friend come in from New Zealand. So,
so it's worldwide.
You could say that, yes.
For a novice like myself, talk to me a bit about yoga, the philosophy of yoga, and also the kind of outcome that people find they're achieving from doing yoga.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. Well, I'll talk about the outcome first and then back up maybe. I think lots of people are finding that they are becoming more flexible. Their balance is improving from continuous practice of the physical yoga. And I think a lot are finding a spiritual feeling. They're feeling that presence of God through yoga and finding an embodied way of worshiping and devoting themselves to God.
Well, knowing about the spiritual implications is very moving. Do you have an open invitation to members, to new members?
Absolutely, we do, yes. Everyone is welcome. There is absolutely no requirement to have any experience with yoga, to have any particular level of fitness or flexibility. No particular faith traditions are required. Basically, if you are interested, if you are curious, it is absolutely open. There is no fee to attend the yoga class. We wanted, it was very, very important right from the outset that this was completely accessible to everyone. So there is no fee, there is no level of fitness required, and there's no obligation to sign up for a continuous practice. You can come in whenever you're free.
It sounds like that freedom aspect must be something too that's appreciated by your members. There's no guilt feeling in missing a session and so on.
Absolutely not. Just come whenever it works for you and practice any way that works for you.
Now, when are your sessions held?
Well, currently our Holy Yoga class is on Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock Winnipeg time. I need to specify now. And I'm also doing a yoga practice with the Southside Fellowship. That is on Mondays at 3 in the afternoon. So those are the two times we are on Zoom practicing. Saturday being the more faith-based of the two practices.
Now, if I was to be impertinent and to ask you whether I could look in on your Saturday morning session, how would I do that?
Well, you would need the link, which is readily available either from the office, or you can email me and I can send it to you.
All right.
And you just need to click on the link. There is tuition available also if you are not confident with Zoom.
Well, suppose I joined on Saturday morning with my camera on the Zoom screen for a few minutes. Do you think that that would be appropriate to show our Trinity audience, the group, as you practice your yoga?
I think that would be wonderful. I have spoken to some of our group, so they're aware that they're already aware you might be coming.
Aha.
And I think anyone who does not wish to be in the screen can also opt to turn their camera off. So
yes.
that is absolutely an option.
Sure.
So yes, definitely you are welcome.
Well, a segment of this interview then will include a minute or two of time with you and your group, and you can explain to the camera audience a bit of what will happen. Lynn, I want to thank you. One more question. The future. Do you plan to continue as you are? Do you have plans in the post-COVID era? How will the future look in your program?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I know there are a lot of people who would love to be back practicing together. So I think we will definitely do that, hopefully sooner than later. But I also know that some people are loving the Zoom, so yeah. I think we need to at least consider how we might work that. The program will. We do know things do evolve as we go along, and evolution is part of yoga too. So. Well,
thank you. And on behalf of those who watch our Trinity Moments, I want to thank you for making time for this and for giving us access to your group. We thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure.
Right. Yes. So good morning and welcome to Saturday morning yoga. I'm so glad you're all here. And as always, before we start, I will give that reminder to please practice in a way that works best for you, not feeling you need to reach any particular mark or stretch to any particular level. Just do what works well for you. So we are going to start with a few rounds of breath with movement. So I invite you to find yourself. You can do this standing or you can do this seated. I'm just going to adjust my camera slightly. I knew I would forget something there, so that I'm a little bit more visible in the frame. And let's begin. Coming up with hands into prayer position. Let's inhale, sweeping the arms up. Coming into prayer position at the top and returning hands back to heart center. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, reaching up, maybe bringing your gaze up to the sky, palms together, and coming back to hands to heart. Let's do that once more. Reaching up, palms together, and let's return to prayer. Awesome. Let's do some side bends now. So inhale, reach up. Let's float the right arm down, reaching over to the right side on the exhale. Inhale, tall, and exhale, reaching over to the other side. Inhaling, tall. Exhale, let's float the arms down. Awesome. Let's do a little twist here. So we'll inhale, arms up if you wish to, just as high as works for you. Let's bring right hand to left thigh. Bring that left hand behind you. Let's inhale, make yourselves nice and tall. Exhale, turning that back shoulder around. Maybe bringing your heart center over to the right side, maybe gazing over your right shoulder. Taking a nice, beautiful, deep in-breath and out-breath here. Let's big breath once more, and let's untangle, unfurl back to center. Do that on the other side. So let's inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, left hand to right thigh, right hand behind you. Inhale, nice and tall. Exhale, turning over to look over your right side. Drawing that back shoulder backward toward the back wall. Breathing deeply. And on the next exhale, let's return, unfurl, come back to center. Let's do some forward and backward folds. So we'll begin. I'll stand for this bit. You are absolutely free to sit as long as you wish, but I will just stand so I'm a little bit more in the picture. So let's begin again in prayer position. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. And let's exhale, diving forward, hinging at the hips, just coming down wherever your hands want to reach to. And on the next inhale, let's come back up, reaching tall. And exhale, float the arms down to your sides. Good. Let's do a little bit of a back bend here. So maybe we bring our hands over to the low back. We roll the shoulder blades close together. Let's release. Let's sync breath with that now. So on the inhale, let's roll those shoulder blades, those shoulders together. Maybe bringing your gaze up. And exhale, release, coming back to center. So we're a little bit warmed up. Let's roll our shoulders a little bit, just get all the kinks out, maybe bounce a little bit just to wake the body up. We're still early in the day. Our muscles and joints might not be quite where they want to be yet. Maybe we do a little sway. Beautiful. So as you're ready, you can still be seated, absolutely, for this. I thought we'd do the breath of joy to get ourselves energized for practice today. So breath of joy involves breathing in 3 parts and kind of swift exhale. So let's practice that once. Let's inhale about 1/3, inhale 2/3, fully inhale, and exhaling through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, 2, 3, and awesome. Let's add some arm movements now. So inhale a little, and let's do 5 more. If you get dizzy, just take a break. Inhale, 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 and exhale through your mouth. Inhale, 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 exhale, inhale, 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 exhale. I've lost count. Inhale, 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 exhale. Let's do 1 more. Inhale, 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 and exhale. Beautiful. Yeah. That wasn't, my partner tells me I did exactly 5. That's 1. Awesome. Okay, so let's warm up the spine just a little bit more before we get into our first flow of the day. So we'll get into either tabletop position supported by a chair, hands resting on the seat of the chair, or maybe you come into hands and knees on your mat, yogi's choice. You can also do this seated in the chair, just doing those cat-cows, rolling back and forth. So James, I don't know if can you all see James? Probably not. I think you can, yeah, okay.
Yes.
James is supported by the chair. I will come down onto the floor. And just take a moment here to look at your alignment. Feeling those wrists stacked underneath your shoulders. Feeling those knees stacked underneath your hip joints, just ever so slightly apart. And let's come into that flat back posture. And on the next exhale, let's tuck the chin bone, tuck the chin, roll down the tailbone, lifting your belly. And inhale, returning, dropping the belly, lifting the chin, lifting the tailbone. And exhale once more. And inhaling up. Just doing a few cat-cows in your own personal breathing rhythm. And moving in any way that you wish to. If you want to slip in a little bit of hip rolling, that's great. If you want to slip in a little bit of balancing cat, that's great. Just doing what your body wants to do in this moment here. And we're sort of warming up for sun salutation. So if you are using the chair, maybe stepping back to down dog posture, making your arms nice and long. If you're on the mat, maybe pressing into your hands, tucking your toes under, lifting your hips. If you're in the chair, bringing your arms straight out forward and your legs straight out forward. And let's walk to down dog, we'll ragdoll for a moment. And then slowly, let's come to half lift. And come all the way back up to standing. How are we doing? Yeah, maybe you could you turn it, could you turn it that way? So how are we for visibility, Harry? Everything cool?
Yes, it's excellent. I appreciate this very much.
Okay, so let's walk through or move through our Lord's Prayer Sun Salutation flow. I will mostly demonstrate this standing sideways because I think that's probably where you best see what's happening. You may wish to have a chair in front of you, or your blocks, or a stool, just depending. Or if you wish to do it in the chair, I will. We'll do a few of these sequences, and I will demonstrate one in the chair. So let's begin with our hands back in prayer position, and I'll do one without the words. We'll begin in prayer. Inhale, bending into knees, sweeping the arms up, maybe do a little bit of a back bend. And exhale, forward fold, just to your version of forward fold. Inhale, half lift, bringing your crown forward, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. And now maybe we step back to down dog. Coming down to tabletop. Doing a few cat-cows or moves in any way that you wish. Tucking the toes under, pressing back up into down dog. And maybe stepping forward to forward fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, straightening your back if you need to before you come up. Returning back to standing upright and prayer position. This time I'll add in the words to the Lord's Prayer. So we begin in prayer position on our mat or in the chair. We start, Our Father, who art in heaven, forward fold, hallowed be thy name. Half lift, thy kingdom come. Forward fold, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Stepping back, walking back, or chair down dog. Give us this day our daily bread. Coming to tabletop, Moving in any way you wish, cat cows or circling. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Pressing back up to down dog or walking back to down dog. Lead us not into temptation. Stepping forward to that forward fold. Deliver us from evil. Half lift, for thine is the kingdom, forward fold, the power and the glory, coming up forever and ever and ever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Let's do one more. Please do whatever your version is. I will demonstrate it completely in the chair this time for the benefit of anyone who wishes to be in a chair, and just for anyone who wants to know how we do that, and I need to do a little more in the frame here. There. All right. So if you're in the chair, sitting a little bit forward, hands in prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, forward fold, hallowed be your name. Half lift, thy kingdom come, forward fold, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Chair down dog, bringing your arms out in a V, straightening your legs out in a V. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us our trespasses, hands cupping over the knees or approximately, and we'll just do a bit of cat cowing in the chair. Forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. Back to down dog. In your version, lead us not into temptation. Forward fold. Deliver us from evil. Half lift, for thine is the kingdom. Forward fold, the power and the glory. Rising up on the next inhale, forever and ever and ever. Exhaling to prayer position. Amen. Thank you.
Well, I'll just interject here, and I'll leave you after this, but this is a very moving demonstration, and I do appreciate very much all of your allowing me to interact with you today.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Harry, and you are welcome anytime you can come and observe. You can observe the rest today if you wish. We really appreciate your being here today. Thank you so much.